started off as Titans, and now we're the Jets. The start of every season always starts with the sweats. Vinny T, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, what's the deal? Don't even try to tell me that the curse ain't real. We're coming for you, better run and hide. Snowball and Johnny Boys, Jets worldwide. Why, yeah, boy. Like and subscribe. Fitzpatrick, the end of every season is always tragic. Doug Bryan missed, everybody got a piss. 2 Super Bowl seasons ended with just one twist. 15 years without the playoffs. Is Aaron Glenn legit? We're the freaking New York Jets, and we're built for this shit. We're coming for you, better run and hide. Snowball and Johnny Boys, Jets worldwide. Like and subscribe.
Look at what we did. We popped up.
We're a couple of popper uppers.
That's
all right.
it. Well, don't pop any uppers, all right, while we do this. So that's okay. That's the last thing you need is some uppers.
See, right about that one. What's going on, man? It's a Saturday pop-up.
Yes.
Just wanted to come on.
It's Sunday. Super Bowl Sunday.
I really thought it was Saturday, so thank
Yeah.
you so much for fixing that. But whew. Well, we hit 400.
Yep. We're in the number 12 because it's Super Bowl Sunday. You got to support the curse. Yeah, we hit 401 subscribers just before the show started. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. All right. Well, you talk about something. I'm gonna look at something here. Hold on.
Well, big shout out to everybody that is currently here rocking with us right now at the current moment. Shout out to John. Shout out to Bill M, always coming in and supporting. Super Bowl Sunday. A lot of things going on. 2 teams going at it today. Seahawks. The Pats.
The Patriots again.
I know. Again.
Son of a bitch. Crazy. Yeah. So this is what I wanted to mention, but while you were filling some time, I just wanted to take this moment to thank our. I finally figured out how to see the entire list of subscribers that we have, but I wanted to thank our most recent subscribers. So if I could mention Tony's Music, one of our most recent subscribers, Vinny Luciano, and Admin Info, and Joey Oliver, and the New York Jets 15, Zach Quinn, Mark Hogue, and Sean Murphy are some of our most recent subscribers who have joined the channel. So thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. Your guys are entered into the mystery box raffle that's going on. So 99 subscribers to go, Johnny boy, until we hit the magic 500 number. I'd like to way surpass the 500 number because every once in a while you lose some subscribers. People, drop off, fake accounts, people get suspended and things like that. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But I am very pleased that the channel is growing. Subscribers are coming in. We're getting help from the Jets YouTube community, like this morning with Boy Green. Shout out to Boy Green. Thank you so much for helping us out. Nick Shine, shout out to him. He's always promoting the channel. Love Nick, and he really tries to help us out every chance that he can get. Shout out to Jake Asman.
Yep.
Because he has been a longtime supporter of Jets Worldwide, and Gunny and Green Bean and Jets Chaos and Matt O'Leary, all these people who have been in our corner since day one and helping us grow the channel. So we really wanted to say thank you to everyone. Again, recent subscribers, and I could go through the list of all the subscribers. But here's one thing that I did want to mention, just on the topic of subscribing. If you haven't, you should. If you're here or you're watching this, hit the like. And also, I can only see the subscribers who have made their subscriptions visible. So, we have 401 subscribers right now, but I can only see a portion of those because you have not made your subscription visible. So if you make it public, I know that you might want to keep your Jets Worldwide subscription private, but show it to the world. Let people know that you're subscribed to us. But big game today, Johnny. The Super Bowl. It's Super Bowl 60, I believe. Yes.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I think this is Super Bowl 60. And the ever-loving Patriots have made it again, Seattle Seahawks. And how many players today have been former Jets? Do you know?
Too many.
Too many. Yeah. Most notably, Sam Darnold, who was a Jet when he first started out his career. Leo, right?
Big Cat, definitely.
Yeah. And Jason Myers, right?
Yep, another one.
Yeah, most notably. So kudos to them. Good that they're in the Super Bowl. Nice that they've made it to the ultimate game. I don't know. Like I mentioned earlier on Boy Green Daily, Sam Darnold being a former Jet and being in the Super Bowl, I don't care. He's a Seahawk, and may he win, because I just don't want the Patriots to win.
Morgan Moses, I think.
Oh yeah,
he's with the. Do we consider right now talk about the Pats, right? Because he's a Pat, right?
Yeah.
There's so much pain in my body.
But Vrabel and McDaniels, right? That pairing against who do we have? Mike McDonald. I always think of Michael McDonald. Like I always want to sing like Yacht Rock. Mike McDonald and Clint Kubiak, right? The pairings of offensive coordinators and head coaches. I don't know. Who do you think has the advantage in this game with the head coach and offensive coordinator position?
Vrabel. I'm gonna have to be honest. It would have to be Vrabel, right? Like he's the guy. You saw what he's done. He's won coach of the year. This other guy is in his second year. Brought him here. Look, it's a very tough one, man. But again, this is a tough Super Bowl for us to watch because you have a player, you have guys that we drafted that are there, especially the Sam Darnold. You have your Big Cat. You have a lot of individuals, including myself, that wanted a JSN, to be a New York Jet, but it just did not happen. And you see the success that they're having over there. Now, granted, these players went to other places first, right? Your Leonard, your Sam Darnold. I don't think it's ever talked about enough, but here we are.
Yeah. Well, listen, I think Vrabel and McDaniels have a substantial advantage when it comes to coaching this game. When you think about Vrabel's extensive career in the NFL, in coaching, being a head coach, who's that?
I don't know.
Somebody we're going to talk about later. So yeah, the McDaniels Vrabel combination, just with Josh McDaniels having so much experience in the Super Bowl and his experience with Tom Brady and working with top-notch quarterbacks and the offensive schemes that he comes up with. And I think just the creativity of Josh McDaniels is something that is to be dealt with. Not to say that Clint Kubiak isn't a creative and inventive offensive coordinator as well. He's probably one of the best in the business. But just experience wise, you got to give the edge to the Patriots that way, which I hate to say.
100%.
But stats wise, when you think about like, well, I think Drake May has a higher quarterback rating than Sam Darnold.
But he hasn't had a real good like playoffs, right?
No. Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the cakewalk of the Patriots into the Super Bowl, right?
I'm gonna have to push back on that. Like, now I am not a Patriots fan whatsoever. Okay, because I'm not. I hate the Patriots. I would be the first one to say here and say fuck the Patriots. But to say that it's been a cakewalk for the Patriots or any playoffs,
a fortunate trip.
I even then I still think it's wrong. I mean, there's just a lot that goes into the playoffs, right? You start 0-0, right? I mean, how many games have they won up to now? You still got to beat people. Like, there's a lot. There's a lot that's going on. I can't say that I think it's been easy for them, because if it's been easy for them, don't we play almost the same schedule as they did this year?
Well, yeah, equally as difficult.
So,
yes, I do agree. Who did the Patriots have to go through to get to the Super Bowl? What, they play the Chargers?
Yep. Yeah. They played against the Broncos.
Right.
And then they had who did they just beat? The Broncos. They just beat the Broncos.
Yeah, they just beat the Broncos. And before that, it was the Chargers. But who else did they play against?
Didn't they have a bye?
I don't know. I don't know. Can you look that
Texans.
up?
It was the Texans.
Oh, the Texans. Right.
And the Texans with Stroud and all of that over there.
Yeah, the implosion of CJ Stroud.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just, I can't say that it's been easy. Again, I feel like when you're in the playoffs, it's 0-0. Anything goes. And look, man, they're winning.
They did have some fortunate things happen along the way.
Correct. They did.
Along the way, yes. So, not a cakewalk, but an unfortunate set of circumstances that came upon the opposing teams that allowed the Patriots to enter the Super Bowl. But now they come up against a very formidable team in the Seahawks. No joke defense for the Seahawks. No joke offense for the Seahawks as well. So these are two good teams. It's a battle of experience. When we say coaching, I mean, it really is a battle of coaching this way. Is. Yeah. No, go ahead.
And I want to give a shout out to a lot of the people that are in the chat right now at the current moment. So thank you guys. It's been a quick pop up. Saw Scott's in, John Billem, Leany is in the building. Our guy Alan, he's in. Our guy Thunderlips is in the building itself. Some of these people are talking about, though. You got Sir Luca, Matthias, Scott. Some of them are saying, though, like Billem says, he's not either. But they faced 4 top 15 defenses since September. So, like, there's a lot to it, right? That needs to be talked about. It's easy again to go ahead and, say like it's been easy, but is anything ever easy? I mean, would we not like to have been in that driving seat and continue with that? So I don't know.
Will we ever get into that type of a situation?
I don't know. Coach is in here. We could ask him,
Well, he's here just so he doesn't get fined.
He
is the Marshawn Lynch of the chat. Yeah.
Wild is in here. I don't know. Like, coaching matters, I guess, right? You could say. So I think that does come into play itself. But I mean, now, granted, I don't want to cut down and say that the Seattle Seahawks, right, are some pushover team.
No,
because they're not. They're really good. That defense is flying out all cylinders. I mean, they got a really good offense. Sam Darnold was in the conversation, as well as Drake May, for winning offensive player of the year, MVP meaning, right? So, like, It's going to be an intriguing game today, but I actually still think that the Seahawks are going to come out victorious, and I think it's going to be a bigger blowout than what people are thinking. Like I want to ask you this, and this is
Yeah.
a conversation that was being talked about, and chat. I want you guys to weigh in on this as well. There's a lot of comparison out there that are trying to compare the New York Jets organization with the Patriots organization, the Patriot way, right?
Mhm.
As they say. I want to ask you, do you think that's a fair comparison? And do you feel like it's just easy to say, do it like the Patriots are doing it?
No, I think the Patriot way went out with Belichick, really. And then you switched over to what, Mayo, and then Vrabel. Like two different philosophies past the Patriot way type of mentality. Um, are they a disciplined team? Yes, of course they're a disciplined team. But do you have to do it like them? No. There's 32 teams in the league, and each one has their own mentality as to how they think they can reach the Super Bowl. Uh, the just do your job type of mentality, I think, is true. I think I think when you get onto the field, if you're a player, uh, try to tune everything else out and just do your job. Just don't try to overdo. I think that's a very good thing to follow. Is I think a lot of people, when you think about the difference in Super Bowl victories or football games in general, mistakes are made when guys overthink. And I think drilling that mentality into people like Belichick did drill it into his players when he did say, just do your job. They clung to that. And
Mm-hmm.
that was that was the winning combination of coach, quarterback, and mentality of the team, culture of the team. When we talk about culture, it's
Mm-hmm.
very important on a team. So we see our coach trying to make that culture come to life. Uh, and I think that's the part of the Patriot way, quote unquote, that the replication should be for every team.
So again, so then why do people, right? A
Say that we have to.
lot of our fan base
Mhm.
is keeps talking about the Patriot way. And like, look, granted, what, they were bad for what, maybe 2 years,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden now they're back in the Super Bowl. I
Hmm.
mean, maybe they've had a really well ran organization over there and they're turning out stuff. I mean, shit, you walk into that practice facility and you see all of those Super Bowl Lombardi trophies. I mean,
Yes. Sure.
let's not only them, KC, the Steelers, I mean, the Niners, like a lot of these teams are so relevant on a constant. They'll be bad for a little bit, but then, they figure it out again, so another person, big shout out to Dano and the whole Danger Zone crew. There are other individuals as well that have constantly showing love to us and
Yes.
putting us up there too. But again, they're another. Murph was having a conversation that a lot of these teams that constantly do is because they always land on the quarterback, and I feel like it's something that us Jets have not done. I mean, when is the last time we've drafted a good quarterback that we've actually developed and put the pieces around them?
Well, you know as well as I do, right?
Yeah.
You would think Chad Pennington would probably be the last quarterback that actually had merit. Uh, but I just wanted to get into Alan's comment.
Hmm.
This game better not be close in the fourth. I agree with him wholeheartedly that if this is a close game in the fourth, uh, the advantage probably will go to the Patriots because of Vrabel's ingenuity and McDaniel's ingenuity with coaching. So you would think that uh, Seattle would be able to hold their own. Maybe they'll build a lead. That's what they're going to need throughout the game in order to hold the Patriots off. Uh, I don't know. Fourth quarter, close game, advantage Patriots. I think. I hate to say it, but I think that might be the case.
So I hope it's not close whatsoever, right? I mean, it's they get this kicker that Vinatieri, all dude. It's like everything is falling in place for them. Like
For the Patriots,
I would say, man, like
football is football, man. It's still a game. I have a feeling that it is going to be a close. It is going to be a close game.
I hope not.
Yeah.
I hope not. I like seeing this. This is what I want to see. 42-3. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I would like to see. That'll be great. I mean, you got Thunder in here talking about 33-13. Like, let's go. And guys, and everybody, guys, weigh in on this, right? I would love to get a answer from you guys that's in the chat. Your guys' thoughts on that, on the comparison. Well, Super Bowl Sunday, let's talk about it. Who do you think is going to win? Why they're going to win? What's the score? What do you guys think? So,
yeah, Matthias, I has been a long time Jet fan. I know him from several chats, and here's what it is. Robert Kraft knows what a real head coach looks like. It starts with ownership, and I think that's part of their winning formula. The Kraft family, Robert Kraft, doesn't care what it takes. He's going to put the resources into finding the right people. He's not going to nickel and dime a coach over what he needs to do. He gives them he lets the reins off of them, lets them do what they need to do, and he knows the right people. He's got the right vibe on coaches. Something that our ownership has failed to do for quite some time. He hasn't been able to hit it. So Woody Johnson can take a page out of the ownership book from Robert Kraft for sure.
I mean, you got Brigger here saying, I'm going to watch the last 10 minutes, and that is it.
Really? I thought Dave Brigger was a big Bad Bunny fan. And I think he's lying. I think he's actually going to watch he'll watch the halftime show.
I'm going to. We can't wait. Can't wait to see that. I'm still trying to see what song he's going to open it up with, right? But JT comes in 23-10. Seattle going to be close for a majority, and Seattle's going to pull away late. I'll take it. I'll take it. Thunder with a good question. How many of y'all dusting off your Donald jerseys today? Well, in the morning, there was 2 individuals that did have it on. My daughter had it on Friday going to school. So, oof.
Yeah, I had it this morning for the Boy Green Daily show, but it was hanging on my wall over there. I took it off to put it on. I have since left it upstairs, and I went to the Joe Namath just for Super Bowl Sunday because that's our only Super Bowl. But there are teams out there, Johnny, who have never won the Super Bowl before. So we have something to hang our hat on.
And we're also the only team in the entire NFL that has gone to the Super Bowl and has a complete undefeated record. So what does that tell you?
That I don't know. What does that tell you?
We get to the big game and we win it.
Well, I hope that happens again sometime in the near future.
Oof.
Do you know the 12 franchises that have never made it to never won the Super Bowl?
Bills?
Yes, the Bills are in it.
Okay. Jacksonville?
The Jacksonville Jaguars, yes.
Okay.
Is on that list.
Let me see. Let me keep going. Chargers?
The Chargers are not on the list. They have been to this. Yes. Oh no. Yeah, the Chargers.
Yeah,
right.
Okay.
They are on the list. Mm-hmm.
Where our Cardinals
coach came from. Mm-hmm.
Cardinals.
Right.
Detroit.
Lions, correct.
Titans.
The Titans are the Titans have made it to the Super Bowl. Oh no, they haven't. Yes, they haven't not won.
Correct. So we were talking about they haven't won.
Yes,
right?
They have not won.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. The chat's lighting up.
Are they?
Bill's got Arizona. He was right. Thunderlips has the Browns. He was right.
Houston.
Seahawks should have won that Super Bowl. It's true, Matthias. It's true.
Very true.
Did we say Houston? Yes, I think Johnny said Houston.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
Texans.
So the complete list, for those of you who are on the edge of your seats,
It's going off my. I was going off my brain on that one,
and
I
I'm reading
failed.
from a list though: the Bills, Vikings, the Bengals, Falcons,
Wow.
the Carolina Panthers, the Tennessee Titans, the Cardinals, Cleveland Browns, the Detroit Lions, Houston Texans, Jacksonville Jaguars, Los Angeles Chargers are teams who have never won the Super Bowl. But the Jets have won a Super Bowl long time ago.
So what you're saying, there is still a chance.
we're in the majority company, right? We're in the majority company. So that's yeah.
That's so sad. Hey, but in Jets news, I heard
Yes.
we got a new guy.
Oh, we signed somebody. Yes, we did.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
This guy?
Oh, he's such a handsome devil. But I hate his logo on his shirt. But other than that,
I mean, I think I do too. It's
yes,
who is this guy? Like,
this is Jets Worldwide. And this is Ryan Slowick. So, Ryan Slowick, welcome to the New York Jets. Hopefully, he can help us win some games next season. Where does he come to us from, Johnny? He comes to us from, obviously,
the Dolphins, right? He started as their senior defensive assistant back in the day. Then he was promoted to the linebackers coach, I believe.
Yes,
then defensive back coach. Then he was their pass game specialist. He has worked under Mike McDaniel earlier back in the days. I mean, he was with the Packers. He was an intern over there. The Broncos, Cardinals. I mean, and
yeah,
peep this out. You know, he was with the Jets.
Back in 2015, he was with the Jets. Yes, he was an assistant defensive line coach. So we're bringing the band back together, Johnny. We're getting all the former Jets people to come back, or relatives, or children of former Jet coaches. So yeah, it's interesting the choices that the Jets are making for the coaching staff. I like the moves that they've made so far. Duker was a question mark the way he was obtained, but the history that he has with Aaron Glenn kind of makes sense in a way. Now the way in which we spoke about Woody Johnson speaking to Aaron Glenn, again, is that a true story? Do we know? Is it fact that he said, hey, I'm not paying you and another defensive coordinator to come here? I've been in sales before, and they say the deal is not a deal unless someone signs on the dotted line. So to me, it's I know everything points in the direction of that, but I'm just going to say it's hearsay for now. You never know.
I mean, it's the truth. A lot of the stuff that's been going on there is made up crap that they're trying to get clickbait stuff. I actually was having shout out to our guy. I see Mike in the building, Mike D. Shout you out, Mike D. Major shout out to our guy Nick, man. So Nick, get better, brother. Ricky, feel better as well. And to Bobby. Bobby's going through some things as well. So just know Jets Worldwide over here is thinking about you. And you guys are in our prayers. But there's a lot of speculation in regards to what's going on right now. They have no idea. And I think that's what's driving a lot of everybody crazy, because everything is so airtight right now. Like who would have thought this guy would have come over here, and who is he? Where did he come from? How did he get over here? It's just stuff that's just popping left and right that they're doing, and the way they're moving, you just don't know. And the whole conversation with the Woody stuff, we don't know. Everybody saying that, Aaron Glenn is going to take the defensive play calling. A lot of it's he said, she said stuff right now because there's no reports out there that are truly saying that.
No,
they're speculating that, but it's not something that's in concrete.
no, it's a guessing game. And when you think about listen, Aaron Glenn is not making friends with the
No,
New
he's
York
not.
media. So, the way he is spoken to them and then the amount of information that's being allotted to them from the Jets organization, it's probably like a beehive over there with the New York media not being able to get anything on the Jets. So it's a lot of hearsay, a lot of speculation, a lot of I don't want to say made up stories. I'm going to say it's people trying to connect the dots. So I don't
maybe
blame
stretching it.
Well, listen, they have jobs, Johnny. They have to write something. They just can't sit there and not write something. So they gotta say something. And whether or not you're correct in connecting the dots in the media and from things that have transpired with the organization, hires that they've made, hires that they haven't made, the temperament of ownership, the whatever it is, that there's a need for news, and that's it. Their opinions, not facts. And with us, it's loyalty over logic. Sometimes
It is.
Definitely for you and I believe loyalty over logic is, well, no, there's logic involved in it also. But shout out to Joe and Jax. I'm going to pick up one of those shirts. The reason why I said loyalty over logic, if you have not, another supporter of Jets Worldwide, Joe and Jax, they're on TikTok. If you haven't seen, that's the guy who has his little son who he like reads stories to about the Jets and does all these things. And he's like trying to raise a Jet fan. He has those shirts that say loyalty over logic. So that's just what kind of came to mind as I was talking.
But Snowball, let me say this, right? But then you get guys. First off, shout out to Austrians in the building. Thank you, Austrian, for coming in.
Ooh, hope things are going well for Austrian Jet fan.
Of course, always, man. But then you get guys like Rich Cimini, you get guys like Brian Costello, Antoine Staley, that say that they have a lot of respect between Aaron Glenn and these guys over here, guys that are OGs that have been in there for a while.
Sure.
So and these are coming out from them, from the actual reporters that are stating this.
Yes, Cimini being the biggest advocate of that, I believe.
Correct.
He has a long-standing relationship with Aaron Glenn, and I think they respect him. I don't know. Listen, I always bring this up. I'm an educator, and I will say stuff to a classroom, right? And I think everyone's listening, and sometimes people aren't listening, and then they come back and they say, "Hey, what? How about this?" I was like, I just said that, and they're like, "Oh, okay, you just said that." And then like 2 minutes later, someone else will raise their hand and be like, "Well, how about this?" And like, well, that's the same question that the last person asked, and I've answered that question already. I've said it. So part of the frustration, I believe, on the part of Aaron Glenn is that he will say things, and people just keep asking the same question over and over again. So it's a little frustrated with the media.
I mean, it's annoying, dude. If you got somebody that's gonna ask you the same question in 8 different ways itself, but you're trying to, build a narrative for it, you're gonna get pissed off. Like, I don't fault him for some of the stuff, but then at the same time, maybe some of the way that he came out, maybe it should have been a little bit different, right? Maybe come at it in a different type of way, but at the end of the day, dude, it is what it is. Like, none of that shit matters, because at the end of the day, you could be whatever you want to be on that podium, but if you start winning, it doesn't matter. Like, none of it's going to matter. Everybody's going to be happy. People are going to be like, man, I love the way Aaron Glenn talks to them. Look how he's doing, blah, blah, blah. But right now, he hasn't done that.
Well, Friday night, you made a very good point. And if you didn't watch Jets Worldwide on Friday night, maybe you should go back and check it out. That was episode 62, I believe, of Jets Worldwide. And we were talking about this exact thing, the way
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Glenn has handled the media, and a lot of people have said that he's trying to be too much like Bill Parcells, and he hasn't earned it yet. And I agree with that. But you made a good point of, oh, I just lost my train of thought. You were saying something about like what he says and how he says it. I don't
He's
know.
like the ultimate troll.
Basically, yeah, that he's kind of like trolling the media. I don't know. He might be. Again, I don't know how much it really helps him with the New York media.
I can't fault a guy for being confident. I can't fault a guy that is able to go up there and be a little bit brash the way he is, because I mean, we've had a coach in the past that was not like that. That was a friend, that was a country club that was
Mhm.
being ran there. And he's not it. And he's rubbing maybe people the wrong way. Maybe he's not old school to a certain degree. But at the end of the day, look, I look at it at this way. And we were on the BG show this morning, and a lot of guys were very, very like still anti-AG. But
Mhm.
I keep saying that, any way you flip it, we've been losers for the past how many years, and I can't get down with like saying and being like, hey, we 8, 7, 8 wins.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Like,
Mhm.
no, we still lost, and it's
Yep.
been losing, and we continue to keep losing. And I'm
Well,
going to stand my ground on that, and I will continue to be living on that. Like, did he have a good year last year? No. And I've been saying it, like, I'm not here defending the dude all the way, but shit, give the guy a chance. Give him the uh, don't fire him the first year, and then you're not telling me who's gonna come over here, because the other noise is, what other coach is gonna want to coach for the New York Jets?
mhm.
Who's gonna want to come here and stuff like that. That's always the other narrative. So it's like it's a constant circle, man. It's just, dude,
Sure.
at the end of the day, we got to get a quarterback. Okay,
Mhm.
quarterback will fix a lot of the problems that we've had, but
Yes.
I don't know.
And speaking of quarterbacks, well, I don't even know if I want to approach that topic at this point, but uh, there are not many choices out there for the quarterback of the New York Jets, and we've had a lot of things come up in recent news. People being released, like Kirk Cousins on his way out, Jacoby Brissett with the being of interest to the Jets, and so on and so forth. Do you think we get the quarterback situation settled this year, or is it a next year thing?
I think they're going to build and try to build and fix as many holes as they can. They might potentially get a veteran quarterback here and then wait for 2027. We will see. There's just a lot of holes, man. Like, I do want to bring something up, but I feel like we should put the link in. I want to get some people inside here. I want people to tell me what they think about, who's going to win today. But there is a conversation that's being talked about, and it is such a conversation that is tearing a lot of people. But I feel like this is a platform that we could have a healthy discussion about this and try to make it sense. So we're going to put up the link. Anybody that wants to come in, come in. Let's talk. Hey, we're talking, being civil. But I'm gonna say the Garrett Wilson conversation that's being talked about. Okay. This is
Okay.
the scenario. They come to you and they say 2 ones and a player. And you could pick that player or whoever you want.
Hmm.
You're telling me that you're not gonna have a conversation, it's not gonna be interesting on there, knowing that we don't have a quarterback right now?
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, I don't know. Trade Garrett Wilson for 2 ones and a player.
Mm-hmm.
So what well are you going to?
I
That's
know. I
that's the
know.
question.
That's the thing, right? Like, You know what? Let's bring him in. Let's bring him in. Macho, you good back there?
He's not ready yet.
Oh, he's not. All right.
He's setting things up. He's talking to the air right now. He's got things going. If you put him on right now, it's very embarrassing.
He got the dog. He got the dog.
Oh, he's got the dog too.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So we'll bring Macho in a minute. But the idea of Garrett Wilson leaving the team is a sad thought.
Correct.
Yeah, but again, not having the quarterback,
right?
It's interesting. It's an interesting conversation to have. You know, you would think that. I mean, we just re-signed him. He's one of the premier players on the New York Jets. He did suffer an injury, but I don't know how serious an injury it was.
He's been putting 1,000 yards out with crappy quarterback play, so that's right. I mean, another one, right? Mm-hmm. But if the quarterback's not in place, everybody is saying that this year is going to be another wash,
right?
And somebody offers you 2 ones and a player. Now, this is a giant hypothetical, okay?
Sure.
Like it's a giant.
It's not happening. It's not happening.
Right? It's not happening. But you're telling me that because everybody wants to fire Aaron Glenn, right? So Aaron Glenn gets fired. Garrett Wilson is gone. Those 2 ones, you have them there. Now next year, you have 4 ones to pick from. Another one the year after that itself.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me that doesn't entice any of these coaches that are out there that might want to come over here? Macho, if you're good, all right. Let me know.
Okay.
Let's get you in this convo.
Yes, sir.
I just laid it out for you. Okay, so I gave it some type of backing to it. So there is a team that's out there that says we want to give you 2 ones, okay, and a player for Garrett Wilson. You don't have the quarterback, okay? Mm-hmm. You don't have the quarterback. There's conversations that Glenn is gone next year, so you're going almost 2 more years, pretty much wasting your talent as a player there, where there might be a team that is very competitive, close enough to get themselves to the Super Bowl and potentially win and get you over that hump. They're saying, hey, we're going to give you 2 ones. And that, is it a conversation that you might bring to the table or not?
It's a conversation. Am I willing to pull the trigger for that? No. Do I want to even consider pulling the trigger for that? No. But it still has to be a conversation, because honestly, we're in a position where there's no calls where we should just be turning down automatically. We should at least be hearing some things out. Same thing with Sauce. If you asked me last season, well, this season, because we're still in the season, if I would trade Sauce, my answer would be no, because of how important he was to us, but also because I didn't think he would be worth as much as the Colts were willing to pay. And if the position doesn't present itself where the Colts start 7-1, who's to say that he's even worth that? I think they overpaid because of them feeling so confident in the team that they had. Does that mean that he's technically worth 2 firsts? No, he really isn't. But some of these teams get desperate, which is why you should always hear out these teams and these offers, because you never know what's going to happen. Now, sticking true to the situation that you said with the 2 firsts and the player, I'm not doing that because, one, I think he's worth more than that. As far as trade value, but also to us as a franchise, as being a homegrown guy, especially we just lost Quinnen Williams. Quinnen Williams was kind of that guy for us where he was that homegrown, been with us his whole career. He was, in my eyes, he was like a Ring of Honor type of player in that type of thing. And it's important to have those type of players and to have that type of stability. If you get rid of Garrett Wilson, who you just paid, you got rid of Sauce already, who you just paid, you got rid of Quinnen Williams, who was that franchise player for you. What kind of message are you sending out to the rest of these players that potentially are joining your team, that you're potentially drafting or trading for? And I don't like the message that sends out. And I don't like the thought of losing a great wide receiver too. Like, we're just overlooking the fact that he's an amazing wide receiver.
but how much of well, how many years did he re-sign for?
So he re-signed for 4 years, I believe. And this is I believe the first year that it's going to kick in, because last year was still technically his rookie contract. I forgot the way that they structured the contract was a certain way, which is why we were able to trade Sauce the way that we did, because of the way they structured it.
So with Garrett Wilson on a 4-year extension and not having the quarterback, and then, you know, time to ramp up, how much Garrett Wilson do you have left with a quarterback who you feel can take the team, you know, further?
Yeah, no, and I completely understand the questioning, because the thought process of it is, as amazing as a wide receiver is or can be, he's still only limited to how good that quarterback is.
Right.
And we've seen that the first 3 years, full years of Garrett Wilson. I'm not going to hold this year against him because he was injured, so we're going to give him a wash for that. But the first 3 years, we've seen what he could do with terrible quarterbacks, and we've seen what he could do with a glimpse of Aaron Rodgers having a kind of steady 5, 6, 7 weeks of being really good. And like, we've seen what it can look like in both sides of the thing. I just, even if we get a quarterback, we need him to throw to somebody. I think it's just so important for us to keep Garrett Wilson, because he's such a great player, and we have so many little of those right now on our roster that I'm not just willing to give up another one. In theory, getting picks back for him would be great and could potentially turn into something, but we don't know that yet.
But do you think that us as a fan base, I'm saying as a fan base, that we hold on to anything that we see as the best thing that we've ever had since Wayne Corbett, since all of these guys that we have to go back in time to name, because we just haven't had it since now, right? Like,
Right.
it's a tough one, but we're gonna bring somebody else in. This is our guy right over here. I'm so excited to have him here. So Phil, what's going on, Phil? How are you, sir? Hopefully you are trying to stay warm out there. I heard it's cold in Florida.
Well, you know, it's funny because I've been waiting for this baby to show up.
Oh, look at what you did! Oh yeah, look at that! Oh, nice.
Very
that is
fresh.
awesome.
You know, and it turned warmer today, and I'm sweating my balls off putting this thing on. But
Thank you for modeling it, though.
yeah, brother.
If everyone has not seen it in the merch shop, Phil, thank you very much. You just threw it to us in our merch shop. If you look up above me, right here, right, shop the merch shop, jetsworldwide.printify.me. That hoodie is the latest addition to. So, been very cold in the Northeast. So, put your orders in. Get yourself a Jets Worldwide hoodie, and subscribe.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, it's really good quality. It feels like, you know, it's heavy, but it's not too heavy. You know, it's really good, guys. You won't regret it. You really won't. The other thing is that as far as the merch goes, yeah, you got the T-shirt, right? Is that you just showing the T-shirt there or no?
Oh, me? No,
Yeah.
no, I was just pumping. I was excited.
Okay.
Did you like the merch? The merch is good.
Yeah, well, I got the T-shirt. I got my daughter the bikini. Like, there's some good stuff, guys. All right, seriously, go check the merch. It's good stuff, bro.
All right. So what's your take, Phil?
Well, you know, a couple of things. Number one is, boy, Johnny, you went from everybody loving on you, like you were like, you know, they were going to give you angel's wings a month ago, right? Everybody loving on Johnny. Today they were like eating you alive, man.
Mm-hmm.
I was all for it, okay? Because
that's how it goes sometimes, right, Johnny?
I mean, Phil, you know how I am. I will continue to keep standing on my ground. I will not give an inch, because if I feel like the way I feel and the way I at least view things in itself, I mean, these are all my opinions. This is all everything that I feel that is in my brain that I am saying to you guys, you know. And are people going to like it? No, but I've always been very vocal, and I've stated that, yeah, people are not going to like my opinion. People are not going to like Snowball's opinion. People are not going to like Macho's opinion. Sometimes people are not going to like your opinion, Phil, and everything. And that's okay. But it doesn't affect us, because it's not going to change our opinion. We're going to continue to keep doing it. I remember a very long time ago, and I was in agreement with you when you talked about AVT, and you said, "Look, man, you got AVT, get rid of him before it's too late, okay, and get some return from him." And guess what we're at right now? Guess what position we're in right now? We're gonna lose this guy for nothing.
Or we're gonna overpay. And what I
Yeah.
was actually saying was, in his third year, when they decided to pick up his fifth-year option, I would not have done that. Okay, I would have offered him a 3-year extension at like 30 million, take it or leave it. The guy had been hurt. He had no place to go. He had no value out there. And if he didn't want to sign the deal, I would have let him play out his contract, and that would have been it. They picked up the 50-year option for 15 million, and he got fucking hurt again. It was dumb, you know. But again, you know, people felt differently, and that's all good. But before we get off too much,
Sure.
What bothered me, to be perfectly honest, is you said everybody is entitled to their opinion, and that's all good. What I didn't hear people saying was, "I hear you, Johnny. I think this, but I hear you." And I do think there's a little bit of a problem with like the negativity and the anger. You know, I almost called in a few times over the last couple of months just for stuff like that. I'm the same age as PG and Carl, the Jets fan with the Jet tattoo. Neil, okay, I've been watching just as long. I'm the same age as those guys.
Right.
I'm so tired of old guys saying to young guys, "Oh, you don't know what pain is." Okay. You got that '04 Jet fan that calls in, seems like a real nice kid, you know. And he was talking about, you know, the pain that he's been watching the Jets since 2004. He's seen a lot of freaking pain. Anybody who's been a Jets fan for 5 years has seen a lot of pain.
You could have become a Jets fan then and have felt pain. Like,
yeah. You know, and it really bothers me. Like, you know, like guys put stuff in the chat. "Oh, you're a rookie. You don't know nothing." Even BG guys say to him, "You know, you're 33. You know, you don't even know what pain is yet." This guy, the guy doesn't. He wears Jet underwear, for God's sake. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So it bothered me a little bit because even if I disagree with your take, John, and, you know, I'm right in the middle where I often am. I think it was one of the worst performances as a coach I've ever seen. It wouldn't have bothered me if they fired him, but I understand, you know, what are you going to do? You fire this guy, who you bringing in? The team's a mess. What the hell are you going to do? You got to at least give him another chance to see if he can straighten things out. The only other thing I did say was, listen, when a Harbaugh or a Tomlin's available, am I making that phone call? Absolutely. Okay, and if I could have brought in John Harbaugh, you know, I'm sorry, AG, but you're out of here. All right. But, you know, these are all opinions. A lot of this is nothing but speculation. It's one of the reasons I've been like vanished for the last month or so. Every day we're talking about draft picks that may or may not happen and whether this is going to happen or that guy's coming out in the draft or whatever. And I just get like tired of hearing all the, you know, pontification. And that takes me, of course, to Alon. All right. I mean, the guy comes on pretty much every day and does nothing but shit all over the franchise. And anybody who disagrees with him is a fucking idiot. And, you know, I get tired of that. I really get tired of that. I just, you know, I've given him his flowers and he gets flowers a lot for being right. But I've said this many times. It's really easy to be right, picking out what's wrong. It's really easy to do that. Okay. Being the guy who solves the problem, that's what's freaking hard.
Mm-hmm. It is difficult. I do give a lot of credit to whoever it is that makes a statement and sticks with it, right? You can't flip-flop. You can't, you know, hem and haw over things. So if you pick a side, you know, stick with that side, whether you're negative or positive, right? I commend the people who will actually put their face on a screen and say what they want to say, because a lot of people will, you know, hide behind they'll either hide behind a keyboard or they're just not ready to come out and voice their opinion publicly. So, and that's not to say either one is right or wrong. You know, you can do those things. In the end, I wear green, you wear green, Johnny wears green, all the people in the chat wear green, so we're all, you know, fans. And like Johnny said before, winning cures everything. So hopefully this season, it'd be nice to have a winning season, as improbable as the mass majority of Jet fans say it's going to be, right? We've seen teams go from, worst to into the playoffs, or, towards the bottom of the barrel to, creeping up there and trying to, in the hunt and looking to get into the playoffs. So anything is possible. I'm just going to say with the combination of coaches that Aaron Glenn has brought in, no one has said that's a horrible hire yet, right? Except for the Duker thing, right?
Well, the defensive coordinator got a lot of shit.
Right. When it first happened, everyone was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. But like you said, right? Teams go from worst to first. It happens. It hasn't happened to the Jets since Parcells, but it could happen. And we don't know what's going to happen this year. It's all speculation at this point. I admire people that stick to their guns as well. I just think it's really easy to be negative or to be counter whatever somebody says, or, that kind of thing. And, a perfect example is the conversation over Garrett. I've always kind of felt like nobody's, untradeable, but I do actually think right now there's a couple of guys that are, okay. And that's, the two tackles and Garrett Wilson. All right. You got to have something to build around. I don't care if you have 11 first-round picks. If you got nobody, you got nothing to build around, right? So, I mean, I do think that right now, I wouldn't trade Garrett Wilson even for two first-round picks right now. Do I think is it fair value? As somebody who says we should, I'm not going to say they're wrong, but I think you got to have something to build around. And I do think that, unlike some of the other guys, I think Garrett burns to win, and I think he's a guy that could really, be a catalyst to turn this thing around.
He can't hurt, he can't hurt the team because all he does is produce. So I do agree. The non-quarterback issue is another thing that we have to deal with. So, if it ever came up, let me say, like, someone offers you 3 1s now for Garrett Wilson, does that change the conversation? I don't know, but you gotta just take every phone call, whether it's good or bad. You got to see if people are offering. There are teams out there in the draft who are wide receiver hungry. They need somebody. So if they're not up there in the top of the draft and they want to ask if they could get Garrett Wilson, it's a possibility.
Yeah, you certainly have to listen. I'm just in a general sense. I think the question was really, would you trade Garrett Wilson for 2 first-round picks? And I'm not sure that I would right now, as this team is constructed. I wouldn't argue with somebody who did, but if I got to have something to build around with picks, and we do have 5 first-round picks in the next couple of years, and I think he's a guy that I want to try and build around. And as far as the quarterback goes, I mean, we can't scoff at anybody. If there's a veteran quarterback out there, we can't scoff at anybody. But some of the big conversations since Reich is all around Brissett. And I think it's kind of funny how much his stature seems to have grown suddenly. And I'm not opposed to bringing in a Brissett, but people are talking about 4th, 5th round pick. If you're the Cardinals and you're unhappy with your quarterback and he's your backup, you're going to dump him for a 4th or a 5th? I don't think so. No. So I think I heard some people talking the other day saying things like, he's the perfect fit, right? He's the size that Reich likes to work with. He's the kind of quarterback he wants to work with. He's perfect for us. Okay, so if we call the Cardinals, don't you think they know that that's what we are thinking? You think they're going to throw the guy to us for a 5th or a pick swap of it? Get a 7th and get a 4th? I don't think so. I wouldn't be shocked if they hold out for a 2nd round pick. If it's us, I mean, if it's us.
Correct.
Well,
I mean, and you're right. Like it, it's such an unknown, and I keep going back to that because we really don't know what the organization is going to do. We could come up here, say all of these speculations of what's going on, right? But at the end of the day, they could come out of nowhere, and I'm just gonna throw this name out there just because this is the new flavor of the current moment. But Derek Carr, okay,
Uh-huh.
because Derek Carr comes out, say his shoulder feels better, and then boom, Derek Carr out of nowhere, and he's our guy. And we're gonna have to get behind this guy and be like, okay, Derek Carr has done this, Derek Carr has done that, but he's coming off an injury. We don't know, like that's where my brain is gonna go to. It's such an unknown with the current organization, and I think that's what's driving a lot of the fan base nuts right now because we don't know. Normally there has been a leak out there that we know which way the Jets are going to go in the draft, the way this is going to go. Because I have to give a shout out to Ted, and Ted states this, and this is something that I am in agreement with him. The two ones that Alan is mentioning for Garrett, and let's just say if it's for San Francisco for later picks, then the value is really not there, right? But then my pushback on that, Ted, and would be, well, if it's another number one for next year's 2027 draft itself, that's 4 ones. And if everybody's saying that Glenn is going to be gone, which again, nobody knows if Glenn's going to be gone. Nobody knows if Glenn's going to have a crazy good year this year, right? I mean, he has a lot of things that are stacked against him that are more than likely going to have him not have a good year. But again, we just don't know. Like, it just goes back to it. Like, I don't know. We
really
don't know.
Yeah. And again, I think I've been just kind of laying back for like the last 6 weeks, just listening a lot. Everybody's going to talk, and that's fine. Like you said, we don't know what's going to happen, right? I would rather wait until we haven't gotten a free agency, the draft, nothing. In April, when we see the roster, then I can start to make judgments as to what kind of a year I think we're going to have, whether or not I like or don't like what they've done. The one thing I will say is I have to agree that based on last year, you can make the argument that you can't have a lot of faith in Aaron Glenn, right? And I wanted to love him. I mean, I wanted him bad. He was my choice. And I have to say, from day one, from the first press conference, I didn't like him. I was like, dude, why? Why are you being this way? I didn't like right from the start. Like, honestly, that we're the New York Jets and we're built for this shit was kind of like, what? It didn't make any sense to me. It really didn't. But all that aside, like, I want to see him do well, of course. And I wanted to see a different guy, if he was available, a guy like a Harbaugh, because of the unique situation we're in. We've got draft capital and we've got money and we've got a handful of young guys. And this thing could be, I could see it just like a Parcells. 97, they went from awful to competitive. And then the next year, boom, they were legit. I could see that with the right coach. Now what I have to hope is between Muji and Aaron Glenn, that they are the right guys. And that's exactly what happens. Let's go improve this year and be a contender next year with a lot of draft capital and a lot of room under the cap. Let's go.
It just feels like the New York Jets are always 1 year late. And it's like that. Now, us knowing what we know and how the actual season turned out and et cetera, right? Maybe it would have been different if we would have fired Saleh the year before he got fired, like the beginning of the actual off season, and not waited 5 games in, I think it was, that we fired him. And then it's just is like, what do you do at this point, right? You have to see it through. Now you're seeing what this organization is in a complete cluster F, right? Yep. And it's just, you're just seeing the fires everywhere.
Yeah.
then
Well,
you
you guys
put that
talked about that.
you put that out there, and then you seeing these coaches that are seeing this stuff like that with not having the capital, with not having any of the, because at that time we didn't have all of those, the capital that we have now, all of the cap space that we have, that makes this an intriguing place to
Yeah.
go if you really want to do it. So
Yeah.
it's why I go back and I agree with you when you say the whole like we're built for this shit, because it sounded very Salah-ish to me, right? The all gas, no break, the like, and for me, I was like, oh, like.
I mean, for me, it was cringeworthy because as bad as the team has been for all these years, that statement just doesn't make any sense. We're built for this. What do you mean? What are we built for? We're built for lousy? Is that what you're saying? Because it just made no sense. It really didn't make any sense. And I do believe he was very unnecessarily combative all year. The stuff with Rich Samini, ask Rich, it was just childish and stupid. I don't get that. Now, a lot of people say, who cares? And you said that earlier, I think, if they're winning, nobody's going to give a shit if he's fighting with the media. You're right. But they're not winning, so we do. Right. But you guys mentioned earlier that, you were talking about like worst decision possibly ever really was firing Salah when they did. No backup plan, taking a guy, throwing him into the fire when they were actually still a competitive team playing for first place the next week. It was a really dumb decision. I was never a huge fan of Salah, and I agree with a lot of people that wanted him fired the year before. But at that point, man, that may have been, and Woody has made a lot of dumb decisions. That really might have been the dumbest decision ever made in Jets history.
Because he's never done that. He's never done that. And then out of nowhere, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall to see what was happening, because I truly believe there was a lot more that was going on there. I think maybe Salah got to the point where he was like, you guys are cutting my feet under me. I am getting crapped on by everybody and anything. I'm tired of it. And he would have, I think Woody Johnson was like, well, if you're so tired of it, you know what? You're done. Get out of here. We'll figure it out. But again, we don't know. This is just me trying to think.
No idea. There's people that think it was because he was embarrassed in London.
Oh, in London.
That was like super embarrassing to him as the former ambassador. He's in his skybox with all these muckety mucks in London, and he was embarrassed. I don't know. It's all speculation, like you said. It could have been, and it really could have been Salah complaining about Rodgers, right? Because I do think Rodgers made him look like a dick multiple times. He really did. The hug thing on the sideline really made Salah look like a fucking. He looked like a eunuch, man. He completely took his balls.
Pushing him away.
Yeah, that was a big deal, man.
Yeah, maybe Woody stepped on a Lego, on the way to the office, or getting into the car, he smacked his head on the driver's side window. Who knows? But he does make some, let's say, a knee-jerk reaction type of decisions, in his career. So whatever, it's the ownership that we have to deal with. And when you talk about people coming here and like head coaches who would possibly come to the Jets, our ownership does play a huge role in the decisions that head coaches make when they say, do I want to go to the Jets? Do I not want to go to the Jets? You have an owner like Jerry Jones and Woody Johnson, probably like the two most biggest culprits in the ownership of NFL teams, who are kind of like, it's kind of difficult, to make a decision when going to those teams as a coach.
Yeah.
So
I just get
that's part of it. Go ahead, John.
I just get upset at the fact that a lot of people go back and they're like, every season that we've had, that the seasons have been able to have been watchable. And I'm like, what have you guys been watching? We've been losing. Every season has been a loss of a season. Like, and the mentality of us right now is there's literally people out there that are like, 7 or 8 games and it's okay. And I'm like, what? No, I want a winning season. I want
Yeah.
something that you could hang your hat off. And that's how you build. That's how you have more people buying in to what you're trying to build. But to just say 7 games, and then you
Mhm.
put context behind it, be like, because the other games that we've lost were just this close or whatever, it's still a loss.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's where I felt like they just weren't hearing you at all. And I get it. They were talking about, Neil was talking about how much worse last year was, worst year ever, worst in Kotite. Whether it was the worst or the third worst season, does it really freaking matter? The point I believe you've been trying to make is we are where we are. And all we can do now is give this guy a chance to move forward. And, everybody was saying basically, were you watching last year? Did you see how bad it was? Yeah, I saw it, but we are where we are. And all we can do is go forward with the guy that we got. And, I'm sure I couldn't really read the comments because I'm on my phone. I don't know if anybody was saying anything about, Harbaugh was never coming here. That's another thing that people say. He probably wouldn't have no matter what. All I meant when I said that was if I'm the owner and a guy like that becomes available, I don't care if I got a guy on a 10-year, $100 million deal, I'm making a phone call. If he says no, he says no, right? What's the age-old thing? If you don't ask, the answer is always no.
Correct.
Right?
And Phil, you and I were saying that. We stated that. We were like, if you get a head coach like that, you make the phone call. Okay. This is a business at the end of the day. It's a business. Okay. They should understand it, because if you're so good at your job, then you'll never have your owner, your anything, ever want to pick up that phone. But the fact of the matter is, this organization has not been in the playoffs for the last 15 years. They have not had a winning season in 10 years. Okay. And you're telling me that you got potentially a really good coach in Harbaugh. You got a really good coach in, name other coaches that you want or whatever, that you won't even make a phone call to see to maybe better your actual organization itself. It's crazy to me, And I wanted to ask you this really quickly, Phil. Did you see the Harrison Phillips interview and what he was saying?
I didn't see the interview. I heard the recap of it.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, listen, there's no question. I do think that was part of what we all hoped, and I still hope AG is going to be about, is trying to change culture. There has been a same old Jets culture for as long as I can remember. And I do think it permeates the locker room. I do think all it takes is one guy, like you mentioned, bad apples, right? If you work in a place where there's just this person that just brings everybody down, it really can affect the entire place. And I do think that when guys start to feel like it's same old Jets, here we go again. I don't know how you break that. I really don't. But I do think it starts with, you got to get guys out that don't want to be here. That's for sure. You got to do that.
And it starts with leadership. I really believe that a good leader who delivers a solid message, you have to get people to buy in. You have to be convincing, and you have to be a very good speaker. And when
let me ask you, do you think AG is that guy?
I believe he is. I truly believe that Aaron Glenn, like Harrison Phillips said, has been consistent from day one. And a lot of people crapped on "Don't let go of the rope," that thing at the end of the season. That actually rang really true with me. And I said, you know what? Like, you got to give this guy a chance. You have to hang in there, because based on what we've seen throughout the season, the people that have players who have spoken after the game and the way that they have portrayed themselves after losses and things like that, you kind of have to believe that this guy was singing the same song the whole season. Come on, guys, let's get going. This is whatever it is that he said to the team on a weekly basis, on a daily basis. Some guys are gonna believe you, Some guys are going to buy in. Some guys are going to change their mind. And there are those players who have heard the rah-rah song and dance and are just like, you know what? I'm out. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm not dealing with this. I'm showing up. I'm doing my job. I'm going to play. And you saw it throughout the year. The,
Win
the
the
players
wins.
on defense, you saw it got slow, right? The new guys wanted to react. And we spoke about, Johnny, we spoke of this on Friday. The special teams was so successful because those are the guys who are vying for positions on the team. So Chris Banjo, whatever he was saying to the special teams guys, they're like, hell yeah, I want to be on this team next year and I want a position. I want to be, in the starting lineup. So they played their asses off. But sure, there was a select few people on offense and defense who just kind of said, you know what, I've had enough.
Question for you guys.
Yeah.
How many players to make a roster?
What?
You mean the actual number? You're saying, what do you need to be competitive? Like how many? You mean like how many good players?
How many players do you need to have a roster to actually have a roster to play in the NFL?
53.
53.
Okay. Rich Cimini came out and said 25 out of those 53 were players from the old regime. So if you break it down in percentages, that's a big percentage of that losing mentality that Harrison Phillips was talking about that resounds in there. So there's a lot of shit that's going behind closed doors, but you're not hearing about it. It took a Phillips, a guy that is well respected in the NFL, that's not going to sugarcoat it. It's going to tell you how it is, right? And say it in a way that's going to have a lot of people that are not believe in Glenn and say, holy shit, there is something to what he is saying. It is right. Then you started getting the beat reporters that were going behind Phillips and in agreement with him that are saying, look, you got Barney, shout out to Barney in here, and Barney says it, right? Phillips said the same thing Davante Adams said the year that he got here, okay, to prove that there was a wrong vibe. We were saying it. We showed it, but it was the whole Aaron Rodgers is there, right? It's that really nice, that you got in front of you at the current moment, but it is not good for you, right? Like, so what it was, we had people saying that. Why did it take other people coming from the outside that have won before, that know what a winning culture is, and as soon as they come through the doors, they see how toxic, they see how bad it's been, that stench of losing, of constant losing mentality that has been in place with this organization for how long? And it's okay. Everybody was okay with it.
Tax, right? Like they talk about the jet tax, right? And I do believe that throughout the league, there's 3 or 4 teams, and the Jets are certainly one of them, that like players look at like, hey man, dude, that's where you go to die, or that's where you go to get your last contract. They don't want to be here. They come here because it's the only place they can go, or they can score the biggest contract. And I feel like they come in with the attitude that, as soon as shit turns south, they're thinking about the Bahamas, and they're not playing hard no more.
Right. I see an uptick in viewership. So if you have just joined us, please consider hitting the subscribe button. We are on our way to our first goal of 500 viewers. We've been at this for quite a while, and slowly but surely we've been creeping up the subscriber ladder. Please hit the like button on the video. And I just wanted to talk about that, Phil. Like, okay, and Johnny, when you said Davante Adams came in and within week 1, he was, saying speeches to the locker room about the negative vibe on the team. We had somebody else on the team with Davante Adams, and that it comes from, sometimes it comes from your biggest leader, your quarterback, right? And at that point, we had Aaron Rodgers, and I know people don't like to go back to the Aaron Rodgers era.
Don't say that name.
I know. It's like Voldemort. But what I'm saying is, right? I was disappointed. I mean, I know that he was talking to individual groups, and I think that's his MO. Like, he'll sit with players at lunch and breakfast, and get the group together under the tree on the practice field and kind of try to preach to them on little bits. But I don't know. I did not hear. Maybe it happened, and we just didn't hear about it. But we heard about it from Devontae Adams, that he spoke out to the locker room. But did Aaron Rodgers do it?
Yeah, I mean,
Did he really
I don't
try?
think Rodgers was a leader at all myself. I don't think he ever really was.
Mhm.
But before we go there, like, subscribe, and check out the merch,
Oh, see.
baby.
Yeah,
Hold on,
very
hold on.
nice.
Let's go full screen on that one. Hold on. There we go.
Okay.
Nice printing.
Oh, look at the print
Oh,
on
they
that.
did it. They did a good job.
Hey,
They
they
did a good
did.
job. That's very nice. So
Yeah, man, it's great.
yeah,
Yep.
and the printing is good. Like, the quality of the printing is good.
The printing is good. The quality of the material is good. The fit is excellent. I'm like like off the rack, 42, 44 large. It fits perfect.
Good.
So
Cool.
yeah,
Because
it's really nice. Like I said, it's heavy enough where it doesn't feel flimsy, but it's not like super heavy or thick.
Yeah.
So like on like a cool day, it's absolutely perfect.
Because Printify has a number of vendors that they offer, and I really like this one. I spent some time like actually going through and like reading reviews from people about the material and the printing and stuff, and the vendors that I saw, some of the price was cheaper, but the printing was horrible, and the material was stiff and whatever. So they said that this was like a very athletic fit type of a material, and a lot of people said that the quality of the printing was really good. So that's why I went with them. It's not the cheapest, it's not the cheapest, but it's not the most expensive either. It's kind of like a good mid-range product. So
Get what you pay for, folks. You can buy crap, and you can buy something that's worth buying.
Right. Well, thank you for helping us out, Phil. We really appreciate that.
We do appreciate that.
As you support the channel.
And listen, I appreciate both of you guys.
Hey, but you know what? That was a customized. That's an idea.
I was going to say,
I was going to say
it, John.
Yeah,
I was going to say it. I was looking at the merch, and it had I love this hoodie, and I love the logo on the back, but it had a picture of Woody on the front.
Yeah.
I forget what he was saying, but it's like Woody with his arms up saying something. And I was like, Johnny, I'd like to get one of those hoodies, but I don't really I don't want anything with Woody Johnson on it. So they actually customized this from my suggestion.
I want to give a shout out to Nav. Shout out to our guy Nav. Nav comes in and says Rodgers probably bought into Salah's rah-rah sales pitch. Then spent a year watching it being bullcrap. So when he finally got back on the field, he knew there was no chance. I mean, yeah.
Fair enough, man. I mean, we can go back and forth about the Rodgers era all day. Yeah, it was a freaking dumpster fire, and to me, it also set us back a couple of years.
100% agreed. Look, that's the other part of it, right? When people talk about Rodgers and in the sense, and I hate talking about Rodgers, I really do, because he's not on this damn team or anything like that at all. But we did everything for that dude, man. Everything for that guy. Okay, we brought everybody that he wanted. Okay, we brought his freaking offensive coordinator, and then we were like, hey, we'll even bring Devontae Adams later on for you, which I don't think that was a bad move at all. But we had Alan Lazard over here because we knew that bringing Alan Lazard and the relationship he had with Rodgers would be able to bring him over here to get that. So
who was the other receiver that we brought over from
Randall Cobb?
Randall Cobb, right? We brought Randall
so
Cobb
like,
too.
What about the guys on the practice squad too that he brought in to try to implement everything?
Tim Boyle.
Tim Boyle.
Tim Boyle was one. Yeah, Tim Boyle was one of his guys, and of course Hackett was his guy.
Yeah.
So so again, do I think that if he doesn't get hurt that first year that he's with us, and we potentially have a winning season? Yes, I think we do. Okay, so and I'll be the first one to admit it. Yes, I think we do, because we won 7 games with Zach Wilson. Right? But that's how much the need of a quarterback and how important it is to have a quarterback. Dude, we're the only organization that it happens that you get. And I keep saying this because this shit to me still, it's a mind-boggling thing. You get a guy that's supposed to come over to help out Zach Wilson, right? And because the quarterback coach that we had was a really good quarterback coach. He was going to be able to help him out. He's helped out other people. And then he gets ran over.
Yeah.
Only the New York Jets.
The Jets.
Only the New York Jets.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got another guy coming in here that always says only the New York Jets.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on, Coach?
Sammy.
Coach, Phil, Coach.
Nice to meet you, Coach.
Pleasure.
So
it's nice to see the silver foxes out today.
Another 4 handsome faces. I think you said it last time. So
I
That's
did.
it.
Always,
Okay.
always.
hired based on looks. HR is going to need to chat with you after the call.
That's okay. I can defend myself because I'm HR. I'm the CEO, so I can just talk to myself in the mirror.
Hey,
right now.
hey, Coach, you know who the HR is? You see that doll all the way in the top of Snowball's yeah,
That's it.
that's the
This
HR.
This is HR, right? Yes. Do you have a complaint?
No complaints here.
So,
I love
Coach,
the positivity.
what's your thoughts on the conversation that's being brought up today?
If we're going to the would we do the Garrett Wilson discussion, is that
Yes.
No, he's a foundational player based on skill and attitude, belief. How I think he projects with a better quarterback supporting him. I'm not saying a great quarterback. I said a better quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
The only way I do the deal is if it's the Raiders and it's this year's first overall pick. Sure. I'd say, hey, Raiders.
Great take. That's a great take.
I'll take the first overall pick. You could have pick 2, and here's Garrett Wilson. Then I come back with 16, and I take a wide receiver to pair with Mendoza. I go to 33, and I pick Surratt, another wide receiver, to go with Mendoza, who he knows. And then I take the best guard or center with my second round pick, and I just say, hey, we reloaded the offense. The defense is going to stink till next year. That's the way I do it.
And you take the 1-year deals with the free agency. That's how you try to fill those holes that are potentially needed, because you might be able to get those type of Phillips, Briggs. That's the other piece of this that I think doesn't get talked enough about. I really liked what Glenn and Muji did in bringing these type of players into this locker room. You know, there were, not only Briggs and Phillips, but Brownlee before he got hurt. Brownlee was playing incredible. But you guys remember what was the bad conversation about Brownlee, that he was this really bad guy in Tennessee. He wasn't that over here with us at all. He was one of those guys that was there. So that's the other piece that needs to be talked about. Like, what are we going to do in free agency? You know, because I think that's what's going to truly dictate for me where we're going to potentially go into the draft. But again, Coach, you heard me yesterday on what I said, okay? The Raiders could be the Raiders. It's something like that I could see happen, and it would be insane to me. Now, am I all in on Mendoza? I've been saying it. No, I'm not. Do I think he's the best out of the poop shoot that's out there? Yes. Okay, but we still have a lot that would need to be put around him as a developmental piece. Okay, I still need to have, and they're doing it, is what I'm trying to say, in the Frank pick and all that. You know, he has the resume of being able to develop quarterbacks. So that right there for me, I'm like, okay, you know, but it's tough for me to say with Mendoza and be like, oh, all in or anything, because, you know, like in the national game, does he have grit? Yes, on what he did, but I don't think he's the reason why they won. You know, and if Jets Johnny's watching, he's probably gonna like this take, but I really truly believe that Miami beat themselves. you know, and that's what I think, you know. But who am I? I'm just a guy on Jets Worldwide that has an opinion and likes to talk about it, you know. So, but your guys' thought on what we're talking about right now?
I'd like the other fellow's thoughts first, but I'd like to say that if anybody squashes your optimism, they better get in line behind me because I got your back. You stay positive. They're
Always.
definitely drafting Mendoza, and if he falls to us, hallelujah.
Imagine.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, I think I said it, you know, maybe 20 minutes ago. We have so long to go. We haven't gotten to the draft. We haven't gone through free agency. You know, I want to see what they do before I start spewing my opinion. So, you know, this time of year, I get it. There's not much to talk about. So people started obsessing about the draft before the national title game. I just feel like I want to wait and see what they do. I like the hire of Reich. I think he's a professional, knows what he's doing. He's built an offense before. The Colts had a pretty good offense, and he had to deal with multiple quarterbacks, you know. So he's been through the quarterback carousel. I think there's a couple of, you know, mid-level professional backup type quarterbacks out there that can get us through a season. If there's a quarterback that they think has a, you know, a mid-level take a shot at somewhere between the 44th and you know, if they can pick up a third round pick somehow, you know, I have no problem with drafting a guy like that. But I just want to see what the hell they do in free agency. Now, to your point, Coach, if they load up on offense in the draft, which is certainly a way they could go, all you really need, in my opinion, is to pick up a few guys in free agency to bolster the defense and make it decent. You know what I mean? This is not going to be a one-year turnaround. It's just not. Okay, what happened in New England was a fluke. That's not happening here. It could, but it's unlikely. So all I'm looking for, I don't care if it's a Mariota, whatever, between Wilson and a high draft pick at wide receiver. If Mason Taylor turns into something, we got a pretty good offensive line. Can we pick up a center or a guard in the draft, even in the later rounds? If we can have a respectable offense and have something fun to watch, you know, that's a pretty good step forward.
100% agreeing with that, Coach.
Free agency will tell us a lot, and you know, I'm a very optimistic Jets fan, so I like the idea that we're starting to see the formation of a plan. I can kind of see the direction we're going, where the uneasy, why are these coaches being let go and how are we reloading this team roster wise, didn't make sense. But it's starting to come together. I'm going to probably give them an extra win or two because I'm a nuts Jets fan. Free agency will tell us a lot. Free agency we need so many players with all that cap space. Yeah, they may splurge and bring in one or two big dollar, but I think they ought to just restock at the second wave of free agency. And if those are 1 or 2 year deals, okay, like they need to hit on a percentage of that. Absolutely. But I'd like to normally say we're competing every year, but I think this year is a foundational culture year. And maybe I should stop using the word cult. It's a foundational year of implementing scheme and positive attitude. And what I'm hearing out of the players in these interviews is they believe in the messaging still. Okay, I'm hopeful there. However, we make the point of saying Muji brought in these free agents or made these trades or whatever. So all these mid-season or late in training camp, these are players that came over that have not, that they don't smell of the prior year's losses, stench, whatever. So they should have a positive attitude and they should bring the energy. And I think that with a big wave of an influx of free agents and hitting in the draft, that's how you make a change. I know it takes the wins, but I'm a fan of trading back and getting more picks and more opportunities. I'm a big fan, especially this year, because there's not, 25 superstars collectively agreed to in this draft.
And that's the thing that Phillips was trying to say to people. I'd rather have a connected team than a full-blown talented team. And I was like, that spoke volumes to me, because I'm gonna give this example. Okay. So one of the people that I think that was one of these players that were very toxic, that was very, like, cancerous, truculent person. I'm gonna say it, and I think it was Quinnen. Okay. Why do I say that? His presser on with the Cowboys, he made it a point to say it feels good to be around a defensive line that is good. Okay. It was a straight shot to the New York Jets.
Yeah.
Okay. But then you get a guy like Sauce, all right, not on the team as well, never says nothing bad about the New York Jets. Goes and says, and praises Salah and what Salah is trying to do, and says, hey, Salah's a guy, not Salah.
AG.
Yeah, well, AG, he praises AG and says AG is a coach that is very, like, on you. You better do it this way. Keep it going. And what them guys are trying to build over there, it's going to work. He says, how come nobody talks about, everybody is shitting on me, right? But when I was with Salah, I begged Salah to let me travel with wide receiver 1, but I could never do that. My tackling issues that were going, how come nobody said that my missed tackles went down with Glenn before I left? How come nobody talks about my PIs, they went down? How come nobody talks about how much it would piss me off as an NFL player and a professional player that some of these damn interceptions, I should have picked them off. Okay. I should have taken a chance and everything, but I was just thinking too much, right, on not messing up and having to hear other noise that was out there. And that's what I'm saying. Like, these are the things that nobody's, like, really talking about AG. So, like, when I hear those and I'm seeing what they're trying to build, this guy's going up a very, very steep hill right now. And he's trying to do it, man, with all of the crap that the New York market puts on you, because we want you to be good as of yesterday. You should have been this good yesterday. There's no patience in it, because you need to be like the Patriots. Oh, but look what Washington did. What are we talking about? Like, you can't compare these organizations to us.
Johnny, if I could say one thing is that I think that what we have been patient. I think that's really the problem. And he just happens to be the guy who's here at the worst time, after all of this patience, after all the rebuilds, after all the disappointments, after Aaron Rodgers going down after 4 plays. He's just the guy who's just got the bag at the worst freaking time. So I do think he's dealing with that a little bit, but I do think that this fan base has been just ridiculously patient, and we're just exhausted. We're just freaking exhausted.
Phil, I was just about to say, every
You're
year
right.
that we keep losing, the time frame for people to show success just decreases that much more. And I can't agree with you more with what you just said. It is so difficult for this guy. And people talked about, and we said this on Friday.
And Woody, that's the other thing, is we're fed up with fucking Woody too.
Yeah, it's true. But Johnny, we were talking about it on Friday with the. All right. Talk about something else. It'll come back to me. I lose my train of thought so easy because I'm thinking about 500 things at the same time.
I want to hear some more from Coach. I enjoy listening to you, Coach. I get why they call you Coach.
Thanks, I just like, and what I go back and I say about AG and the whole, like, one of us, right? I'm not. We've had patience with guys that are not Jets, okay, that have not put that damn jersey on, that have said things to the sense of, I remember 98. I'm having
Yeah.
conversations with you got guys like Wayne Corbett that talks about how he still talks with Aaron Glenn about 98, et cetera, right? And we're all like, get rid of him, fire his ass. And I'm like, that one hurts, man. It hurts because he gives a shit. He wants the Jets to do good. He's been on record to say that, yeah, I might have been coaching at other places, but the Jets were always in my heart. I would always watch them and see what they're doing from the side, hoping that they would figure it out and have a full circle moment to come back to the organization that picked me. Like look at the guys that he's picking up that have the lineage of old coaches that have been here, right? The Slowick, right, comes from Bobby Slowick, who was a coach here back in the day, and his brother. Then you got the Ryan pick. Now, like, which how did he get the worst name out of all the Ryans? I don't know. Right? You have Buddy, you got Rex, Rob, and then you get Seth. I don't know. But anyways, that's my whole take on that. Like, I get that he's been bad. He had a really bad year, and I understand that. I'm not an idiot. I watch all the games. It's been difficult, but I just can't say get rid of this guy. Okay. And then there's no backing or anything of what coach is going to come in here and is going to fix it with the mess that's already been in place for the past 10 years, So that's what I mean by that.
Yeah, no, I know that.
Yeah. I was just thinking, it came back to me about when we fired Wilkes and a lot of people saying, well, why didn't Aaron Glenn pick up the slack and just leave it to Chris Harris to do? I'm of the mindset that when you have a plate as big as a head coach's plate and you have people in place to do the jobs that you hired them to do, you're not going to sit there and say, like to say to Chris Harris, right? Hey, you know what? Like, I got this. No, like he was there and, Wilkes was gone. He was just like, all right, Chris, it's your chance to run the defense. I have a lot of crap to do right now, being the head coach, and I understand that. Again, speculation whether or not he takes over the defense this year. He's got Duker in his right pocket being the coordinator, so who knows? When he comes out and says, I'm taking over the defense, then I'm going to believe him. And I'm going to say, okay, yeah, he's taking over the defense. But for now, it's Duker's job, as far as I know. If anyone can tell me different, please do so. But, I don't know. The fact that he is willing to, if he does, that this is his swan song. This is either going to be his rising like a phoenix or, dying. So let's see what happens.
Coach, your thoughts on everything that's being said right now?
That's a lot. I wanted to start with the Woody thing. I'm a believer that he's a problem, and he does need some. He needs some help. He does. All of us in whatever businesses we are in now, or used to be, or will be in the future, can tell that when the owner, the buck stops here guy, says some of the things that he says, it makes it quite difficult to rally the current players, to attract the future players, the Jets tax, the whatever. If he says that about our captain, like Justin Fields was our captain and he can't throw the ball. Like, okay, yeah, we got a problem. Okay. That's hard to overcome. I think I've said that before. So I'm loyal to the Jets team, not the Jets owner. I love the Jets players. I'm a fan of every coach that they'll bring in or fire or will bring in or have had before. I didn't enjoy Gase at all. There's been coaches that I, cringed at their play call or their or whatever. McCagnon's, just some of the contracts that were handed out. So to a point that Nick Shine made is he doesn't wear a jersey of a player because he's just all about the Jets. I get that. If you're on the Jets and you're contributing to the Jets and you're doing everything you can to make the Jets team better, I'm a fan. They sign Michael Clemens and he stays around, I'm a fan. I don't care who they sign from I'm going to root for you. The only one in entire history that I had a problem with was Michael Vick for off-field issues. Okay. So having said that, can we overcome that? I think a guy who's got an attitude like Aaron Glenn, AG, is what fits that hole. And I do believe in giving him more time. There are so many people spitting fire at him and essentially just waiting, watching the clock for him to get fired. And I'm like, that's too much negative energy to put out there. Honestly, that's just walking around salty. Like, I don't think this year is going to go great. I don't. However, with all that energy out there, that doesn't help anyone. That's the kind of pressure that comes back to Woody. So for everyone that says they don't like Woody and his meddling, I'm not telling you how to fan, but it's time to just be positive. We have Aaron Glenn. He is the coach. He is making these decisions. Keep him the whole year. Evaluate at the end of the year like you should any team every year. Self-scout and be honest with yourself. That's also not my job to do that. My job is to fan out and to show up and to support the other fans who are struggling. You had said, like, maybe it's the straw that broke the camel's back, or that's how I heard what you said, Phil. I think that's the problem right now, is it's hurt so many years with all of the dysfunction and losses.
Yeah, it's been bad.
Right? That's what hurts the most here.
Yeah.
Is that it's not like, oh, we had a down year, we're going to bounce back. It's like, we had a down decade.
That's my point. That's exactly what I've been saying. Like, you can flip it any way you want, but it's been losing. We've been losing. Keep going, Coach. You're getting me hyped up right now.
And Phil, the coach thing is from the uncanny at times Jeff Ulbrich lookalikeness that I have pulled off for Halloween in the past. So that's where the coach comes from. That's a Dylan Terraman who labeled me coach, and I'm not about hiding who I really am on the internet. I don't really care. I'm mean no matter where. So my name's my name, and you want to come find me, knock on the door. I'm here.
I got you.
Johnny, I'm getting messages from above that it's not God, but but from the family upstairs that they are saying we need your help. Yeah, we need your help. It's time to make Super Bowl food. So I'm ready to go make Super Bowl food.
Let's do this.
But if you want to carry on, you can carry on.
Because I need to go. Same here, man. I got my good friends coming over. This is his stuff. It's his barbershop right here. So shout out to my guy Ryan. You know what time it is, man. So guys, it's always great to have you guys come on and be able to have a conversation and just it be civil, right? Because regardless, you could have a conversation with somebody and not be in agreement with everything that they state, but still be able to have a civil conversation with the person and have me understand, well, why is it that you feel that way? Well, what are the things that you're trying? Like, I get what you're saying, and I understand that. Thank you for telling me that. But my opinion is this. I feel like this is the way that I think it should go. And just because somebody's like pissed off and is upset on what's happened this season, look, they have every reasoning to be upset because we've been losing for a long time. And I've said it multiple times. I mean, Coach, you were here Friday. I've said the same message consistently. The fan base is upset. Yeah, they're pissed off. I just want you guys to see that this dude is trying. Like, I see him trying. He understood he messed up. Okay. Yeah, he shouldn't have been all rah-rah. Okay, maybe. But like, for me, the way I see it, I liked it. Like, I was like, I think it's what we're needing right now. not being able to take anybody's shit. So did he get humbled super fast? 100%. You saw it, but in ending, Phil, Coach, do you guys have any parting words?
No, just that I always have appreciated you guys doing this, because this is kind of like where the adults come to talk. People aren't yelling at each other, making, horrible statements about each other. That doesn't happen here, and I like that.
Cool. We
Phil,
appreciate that.
We appreciate that.
We aim to do that every time we come on air.
I'll echo that. And I think AG was speaking to his players at every one of those press conferences and not us.
Yeah.
And we all would love to be a player in that locker room, but everything he said was to rally the guys he has to be the best that they can be. And the future draft picks, the future free agents that he's bringing in, he's talking to them. So if you're hearing it like he's talking to the fans, even when he says, I want to make the fans proud, he's telling his players, we're here to make this team great together, and the fans will be proud. I'm ignoring the fact that it sounds like he's talking to the media, and I'm just thinking, if I'm a player in that locker room, that's what I want my coach to say, that he believes in us, that we're not tanking, that we're winning, that we can do it this year. All the things that he's been criticized for. And by the way, I love the sideline dance. I don't know if anyone wants to make fun of it, but I thought it was amazing. I will be practicing that so I can do it at my kids' middle school dance in a couple weeks.
Hell yeah.
Tell them I'm going to do it, but I'm doing
I
it.
had no problem with it, and I didn't understand what anybody had a problem with.
It's just pure emotion.
Yeah.
It was
Cool.
Look, we put it in our intro because I loved it that much. It was great, but he was, criticized in that moment. You block a field goal like that, you pick it up, then you run it back. I think maybe the last time I saw that was Troy Polamalu doing that, when he would jump over the line and everybody in the stadium was going crazy and the coaches were going insane there. So like, to criticize him for showing that, dude, that's, if you watch Aaron Glenn, that's Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn's always been that, and Harrison Phillips, he said it in his interview. He's always been the same Aaron Glenn, no matter what. The consistency piece of it is there. So, and we respect that. But Phil,
is this a can we curse on this channel?
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna sign off by saying fuck the Patriots.
Damn, Skippy.
Yes.
Phil?
All right, guys. Great to see you. Have a great Super Bowl day.
You as well, man. Thanks,
Definitely.
Phil. Always a pleasure,
care.
man.
Thanks for the
Take
support, Phil.
And now it's just us.
Yep.
We're here.
And the chat. So
in the chat.
We want to thank you guys for popping in with us on this pop-up. It was very nice to see everyone in the chat. If you're just joining us, sorry, the show is ending, but if you would be so kind, please hit the like button and consider hitting the subscribe button. We are on our way to our first goal of 500 subscribers. We have made amazing headway just this past month. Let me see. We are up such a percentage. Just like in the past 28 days, we're up to almost 45 new subscribers, and we are climbing every day. So please be a part of the Jets Worldwide movement and be a part of it, because if you do, when we reach 500 subscribers, the mystery box will be opened. Is that something popping out of the box? No, it's not. Okay, good. I was like, wait a minute. Can you actually see what's coming in? So there are some things in the box. We will pick someone at random. Please make sure that your subscription is made public. That way I can choose from that list. So yeah, we're on our way, Johnny. We're getting there.
Snowball?
Yep.
I would love for you to let our audience know of the guests that we're having this upcoming week that we are putting for you guys, because we are trying to give you guys really good content consistently, and we are working hard. And first and foremost, to the guys that are coming on to the show that we're doing the interview with. Thank you so much. But let them know, like, who's coming on the show.
Well, listen, this Friday, I'm taking off on a plane on Saturday, but I will say it's not going to be a long show, Johnny. I can't do a long show because I got to get up early in the morning.
I always try not to.
Can't be a long.
This
show.
was supposed to be a half an hour show.
I know, and it's almost 2 hours. I get it. This Friday we have the infamous Green Bean Jets fan and the equally as infamous Dylan Tarabin coming on to the show. I've named the show the Green Bean Tarabin Experience. So if you check out the thumbnail, it's all psychedelic colors because you never know what's going to come out of those guys' mouths. And it is an experience to deal with those two guys. We also have some guests that are coming on. Johnny has been recruiting people, and I'm not going to take credit. Can you please tell people?
Nah, man, it's a team effort that you and I have been, because it's not only been me, it's been you as well. So you let them know who we're having coming on here Wednesday night, Thursday night.
Some guy from WFAN or used to be on WFAN. I'm clicking on because I'm trying to get names correct. Yes, we have the infamous Keith McPherson coming on. We will have a show. It's not gonna be like a live show. It's gonna be a pre-recorded show for you guys. But we'll have Keith McPherson on, and we will also have Antoine Staley. So those two interviews will be coming up shortly. So we'll be recording them this week and releasing them shortly thereafter.
Cannot wait. They're going to be great. Cannot wait to pick their mind, especially, Keith being in the New York market, hearing what he hears and kind of getting, because I've always enjoyed him on the WFAN, right? He's always been the late night dude and what he's been saying, but not only him too, right? We also got some other people that are coming on down the road that we're excited to bring on, which Snowball doesn't even know about yet, but I'll let him know a little bit later on, and I'll let you guys know as it comes, because this right here has been Jets
Worldwide, wide.
Go Seahawks.
F the Patriots.
Fuck the Patriots.
We started off as Titans, and now we're the Jets. The start of every season always starts with the sweats. Vinny T, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, what's the deal? Don't even try to tell me that the curse ain't real. We're coming for you, better run and hide. Snowball and Johnny boys, Jets worldwide. Why, yeah, boy. Like and subscribe. Fitzpatrick, the end of every season is always tragic. Doug Bryan missed, everybody got a piss. 2 Super Bowl seasons ended with just one twist. 15 years without the playoffs, is Aaron Glenn legit? We're the freaking New York Jets, and we're built for this shit. We're coming for you, better run and hide. Snowball and Johnny boys, Jets worldwide. Like and subscribe.